10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And they're off. And it's a battle into the first turn for control. The battle continues by the half and approaching the far turn. Stride for stride past the three-quarter pole and approaching the top of the stretch. And as they hit the top of the stretch, it's mission brief. Foiled again, Muscle Hill, Captain Treacherous, and Vegas Vacation. Lucky Jim, a rock and roll dance via Magician. Sebastian K approaches the line. Guccio is coming late, and as they hit the wire, it's too close to call.
Now here's North American Harness update on SRN1.
Yeah, it's very disheartening. Not necessarily disheartening. It's more so, I think confusing is the right word. I'm in the studio. I'm getting all of the books out. I'm setting up the cassettes because we're about to roll tape and get down the magnets, which these are all terms that you used in the recording studio back in the good old days of 1976. I believe is when America was founded, and I'm getting all of these things together, and all of a sudden, you just start to hear the sound of a crying baby. I'm not sure how many of you out there have experienced this phenomenon, just going about your day and doing tasks that don't necessarily have any relevance or involve a baby crying, let alone with the task have babies in the proximity who would then cry as these tasks are happening. But my only guess is that this will be something that haunts me through the show, this show, North American Harness Update. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been a while since we've been here. Mike Bribosi has aged just 20 years because the beard has finally come in. And Rod, well, Rod hasn't moved his shoulders since the Battle of the Bulge, so not much has necessarily changed, especially considering it's one of those shows where we're just going to go on. We're going to talk about the typical things. We got the NAHU Pick4 from the Raceway Western Fair District. That's coming up in 9 minutes. We're going to roll straight into that, and afterwards, we are going to preview the Pick4 at the Meadowlands $50,000 guaranteed pool, and from there, we will expound upon the Meadowlands and add in a little bit of Mohawk. It's the third week of the Can-Am Pick4, which has been averaging around $50,000 bet on both the American side and the Canada side. So you put that together, we got to do the exchange rate. So the 50,000 Canadian to the 50,000 American means that approximately $60,000 total has been bet into these pools. But still significant numbers, large numbers, so large that if I stood here and counted all the way to 60,000, it would already be Tuesday. We have no time to wait till Tuesday because the first leg of the NAHU Pick4 is getting ready to go. It starts with race number 7 over at London. It is a claiming event. Conditioned claiming event. Oh, by the way, Mike Bribosi, Rod Allen, they're doing great. You don't have to ask them. They're always doing great. It's really a push-button kind of thing.
One thing I'd like to say, Ray, is that those Can-Am Pick4s have paid good both times so far.
The first week, it was 500. Last week, I believe, was 700.
Yeah, with 2 favorites.
And I got knocked out in the last leg. I was live. I was sick.
Nobody cares.
We all got kicked out because Pretty Hot just popped pocket. Which,
he had that horse. He missed a lot.
I had that one.
Wait, you didn't? How'd you lose the stupid way? That's.
He does
I answered my own question. It's the stupid way. We have the NAHU Pick4. It's a condition claimer. $15,000 tag for numbers at 35,000 lifetime. 8 horses going postward to start things off. Rod, how on earth do you go 4 deep in this race?
I actually thought this sequence was pretty wide open. there's a lot of horses here that have a shot to win all these legs if things work out the right way. But here I'm 4 deep in the front leg, starting with the 1, Mossy's Art. Gets the rail again. Last week got a 2-hole trip, started getting shuffled back and then popped out. Ended up just getting beat half a length. Raced very well there against Stonebridge Guard, who's got the 8-hole tonight. So that's going to be a little curious spot there. I'm not sold on that horse, but Mossy's Art from the rail I think is a use once again with another good trip. The 4, Sports Tail, beat a neck, came flying from the last time, and the form has been just good all season long. It's hard not to have this horse on your ticket. And then the 6, Inspector Murdoch, second time with Mark St. Louis driving. Last time this horse got beat a length and a quarter, was flying from the back, got shuffled all the way, and came from dead last at the top of the stretch to only get beat a length and a quarter. I really like that race. I think this horse is coming into what we saw closer to about 2 months ago, coming back to that form again after a bad start, 2 back. So I'm going to use that one as the price play. And then the 8, Stonebridge Guard, I think is obvious. His last 6 starts, he's been right there every single week. He's 11 for 13 in the money. Tough to dismiss, likely favorite. So 1, 4, 6, 8.
Mike, what is wrong with the 6?
I don't know. I guess I didn't look deep enough. I agree with his other ones, though. I thought the 1 raced very well last time, despite, kind of an interesting trip. And, the inside draw doesn't hurt ever at London. So must use. The 4, Sports Tail is a definite use. He's just sharp. His problem is he wants to come from 9 miles away, and that's difficult at London. I think he gets a little set up here, though, especially with the 8, kind of drawn on the inside, but he's going to have to move earlier. The 3 wants to go, the 1's going to go. There's enough speed that I could set this horse up, and I'm going to use the 8, who found a way to win last time from a wide trip at a chalky number. I expect chalk again, but he's certainly not, a slam dunk by any means. So I'm 1 for 8.
Mossy's Art could be growing on the north side of the winner's circle, considering how well he's been racing in his last couple of starts. 3 starts ago went first over as the favorite, but then as the favorite. No, he wasn't the favorite. He was the 2-1, probably second choice. His first over, though, he gave way, finished 3rd in that race, tossed the next race out because I don't like it, but the race he put in recently, that's a good one. Sitting 2nd, popping off the rail around the final turn. He did miss. I'll give you that much. But the horses he missed too were not because he hanged, because he was just out-kicked. So if he can kick a little bit harder this time around, he might be the one doing the out-kicking. I throw in the 5, Warwick Toronto, who gets a better draw after leaving from post 7 last out. And once he left, he stayed out there. He could not get to the rail for the life of him, even for the death of him. It didn't really matter what this horse's state of being was. He was parked out and left to dry. So he comes into this race maybe a little bit moister. He's got a good draw. He's got gate speed. He's just got to make sure he does not get stuck outside. And Stonebridge Guard is incredibly obvious. Since he's trailing the 1, he's going to get into the mix one way or another. He likes to come from off the pace. He's good at coming from off the pace. He's been doing well as he's been taking money in his recent starts, but that win he put in recently is the only one you see in his last couple of lines. Lots of seconds. There's a 5th in there for some reason, but this horse can get the job done too. He's just going to be, God damn it, it's been 5 weeks already. This horse could just get the trip. He'll take money. He's the obvious one. He's the 8-5 money line favorite. I don't need to talk about him because even the blind can see this horse.
Well, you spent the last 3 minutes talking about
Right.
Well, if you stick around for the next 10, I'll present to you my master's thesis on this horse. But we've got to keep going. The 8th race is the 2nd leg. $15,000 claiming tag for $50,000 non-winners of lifetime. That is exactly how it's listed in the program. This race I will give you my full dissertation on after we figure out the 3 horses Rod uses.
I'm going to the middle of the gate here. The 3 Gold in the Badlands. Hasn't been as sharp recently, but does get a class drop into the claimers for the first time. Been facing tougher horses, and this horse made $30,000 last year. I think is a must-use on the drop into the claimers. Definite play here. Probably going to be the favorite. The 4 Sly Baron, another one that's going to take some money for Travis Henry. Comes in off a race where he just kind of sat in the back and had no chance. Closed up well. Didn't get a check there, but that was against some pretty tough company. Hoped to be first and well did in the straight $8,500 claimers. Those two are miles better than these horses. And he's been close when he's in this class level. And then the 5 Puddin' Pie, kind of a sleeper pick here. Last week just sat inside. This is definitely a trip horse. He likes to be close, but I think if this horse can get the right cover and brought up into the race, this is the price play in here. 3, 4, 5.
Mike, you saw the 5, but you raised Rod the 6.
Yeah, I agree with the 3 and the 4. One thing I'll say about the 4 is, he was racing at this class, but racing against like Blue Moose, Rasmus, against those 2 that were dominating. Neither one of those in this race, and I think that helps him a lot. So I think he's the most likely winner. But I'll use the 6 also. I love what I do. The only reason I'm really using was the horse was terrible, in February, but qualified well and kicked 28 and 4. So I'm good with that. A little bit of wake up, a short field, and if this horse is better. The horse has some competitive lines back in January. Has 6 wins on the card. 3, 4, 6.
Black Vinny sucked from post 7, but now that he doesn't have post 7, he'll be a superstar. And Sly Baron, 2 gates over. He's been racing decently at this class level. He tried going to the claiming handicaps last out, but that was a little too tough for him. So he returns to a class where he's thrived in the past. And with all of that, he will not be last. 2-4 for me. I don't like Gold in the Badlands because he's going in for the claiming tag off of those atrocious miles. Next race, 9th, 3rd leg, more claimers, $7,000 opens. Rod, how is Spider-Man Hanover not a single?
He's not a single because last week he was out of control. He could not hold him, and he came to a walk in that last 16th. So that I'm a little concerned about. I do like him, but I don't think he's a single for that reason. But I'm going to use him anyways. The 5 Rockstar's Megastar, I'm using that one. I think he definitely plays in here once again. He won that race last week. Got a nice setup, but he plays, and he's been in pretty good form recently as well. And then the 8 Expensive Toy. The second tier is a little curious, but he's following a horse from the rail that has early gate speed, so I think he might be able to get the right setup and possibly get a second over trip. I don't know what kind of price you're going to get on him coming over from Flamborough, but he's definite use for me. 4, 5, 8.
But Mike, Spider-Man Hanover went to a walk in the final 16th. Because that race was a mile in the 16th, he should be golden here.
He's going to be really tough. He controls the race again. He's faster than these horses. I hate horses that lose at 1 to 9, but I do think he's better than most of these. And I'll use the 5 also, who did benefit from that race being a little longer last time, but he's sharp enough for me. And if things happen that cause the favorite to lose, I think this one's the benefit again. So I'm 4 or 5.
See, Spider-Man Hanover's a single. They're going a mile. He's faster than all of them. He's not a mile in the 16th horse. The last leg, last leg, I'm 5. That's not the right noise.
2 minutes.
Last leg, I'm 5 deep. I'm 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mike, this is a wide open race.
Yeah, wide open. I like the inside too, and then I think the 6. It's just hard not to use 3 in a row, and it's 2 tough trips. So 1, 2, 6 to finish there.
And Rod,
I'm also 5 deep. A little bit different than you. I use 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 with about a minute and a half to go here. Quickly, the 1 together we run gets the rail again. Will likely be cutting the mile out once again like he did last week, or she did last week. The 3 Fluentosity, who you don't use, Ray, This one's been in good form right there every single week. Hard not to have on a ticket. And Austin Sorey gets the drive tonight, and he's been doing pretty well lately. Friends to the End. This is one that needs a setup. If she gets that setup, she can always win. And the mile and the 16th distance, I think, is to her benefit because she can close as well or better than anything in here. But
40 seconds.
Yes, I know. The 5,
Oh,
Lady
here's my
Oxford.
ticket.
Lady Oxford has been racing well. First over last week.
Doesn't care.
Rod, I'm sorry, you're out of time. The clock has rung. Here's my ticket for 20 cents. I'm 158 with
They're already showing.
4 with 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we're on the radio, dum-dum. The radio cannot be seen. It's a $6 ticket for 20 cents. Mike, yours.
148 with 346 with 45 with 126. It's 1080, and I punched it a couple times.
And Rod, yours.
1468 with 345 with 458 with 13456. It's $36. Bang bang.
Now you see, it seems like we've just had a really innovative idea here that nobody's ever made radio a visual medium. So I think we should look into trying to develop.
Yeah,
that
somebody
product.
did. It's called TV.
No. We already know what television is. We already know what television is. I'm talking about radio, but with pictures.
Yeah, TV.
No, that's an entire. No, it's not. It's not called radio vision, is it? It's called television because it visualizes tellies.
Wonka Vision.
3-2 favorite Sports Tale. Behind the gate, moving up. Bang, bang, bang. They're off. And pacing. From the inside, Bukizi Rock leaves out there with Warwick Toronto in between. Outside, Art Seeker moving for position as they're 3 across now lining up around that first turn. Bukizi Rock clears charge from Warwick Toronto, taking the pocket. Mossy Zard away third as Art Seeker tucks in fourth out of Big Joe Dobie fifth. Stonebridge Guard sitting sixth then ahead of Sports Tale, and Inspector Murdoch moves off the rail from the back as they move on to the opening quarter with Bukizi Rock leading the way in 29 seconds. Warwick Toronto, a loose pocket sitter, 2 lengths off the leader. Austin Sorey pops off the rail now with Mossy Zard from third, up to be second, moving towards the lead as they move towards Circuit 2. In charge of Bukizi Rock, margin and neck as Mossy Zard uncovered, looms closer to the outside. Warwick Toronto is sitting pocket third while on cover fourth. Coming to that half-mile station, sits Sports Tale. Art Seeker shuffled to fifth. Third up in that flow, Stonebridge Guard, or rather behind Stonebridge Guard. They go on past that for 59 seconds. 30 seconds that second quarter. The senses continue on to the back stretch. Bukizi Rock, a length better than Mossy Zard to the outside. Warwick Toronto's locked in. Is now Sports Tale angles 3 high, 4 high Inspector Murdoch. Room now for Art Seeker to tip off the rail, but he's behind the wall, as is Stonebridge Guard. 3 high, 4 wide in the back comes Sports Tale by the look. Who is that horse? Someone find out. They're past 3 quarters in 128. That's Big Joe Dobie trailing 4 high, 3 lengths covering them, spinning into the lane as Mossy Zard has a neck up on Bukizi Rock. 3 high Sports Tale's only a length off the lead. Deeper on the track comes Inspector Murdoch, and now Stonebridge Guard's fed racetrack with the 16th to go. Mossy Zard, Sports Tale in between Stonebridge Guard, far outside.
That's really
Ooh.
Cross on the wire, it's tight. Mossy's Art or Sports Tale or Inspector Murdoch or Stonebridge Guard. Hopefully you have one.
I think it's the one.
That was tight. I don't know. I think the one did hold him off.
The 8's right there, though. It's either 1 or 8,
I think they broke the finish line, so it's going to be... No one won.
What a drive on the 1. That was...
I don't know. I had all 4 of them.
Kept that horse alive forever.
I had all 4 of them, so I was golden.
Yeah.
The wire, it looks like if it's not the 1, it might be the 8. 1864. That's a good start.
What a drive on the 1.
That was...
Austin Sorey, I just talked about him. Bang, bang.
5-1 over 9-5 over 9-1 over even money.
Hey, Rod, that was a really good pick on the 6. He was a mile the best. I mean, not even
4 deep from like the 5 ace.
Yeah, I mean, well, but he was wide off the first, just even getting started, he was off the back from the start. I mean, he was a mile the best in the race. Crazy.
Alrighty, Mossie's Art kicks off the NAHU Pick4 with $9,000 bet into this sequence.
The Pick4's on Tuesdays and Mondays and Tuesdays have been really big.
Giant. They've been over 15,000 now for a few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting TVG and stuff like that, but I mean, they're getting some real money in this, especially Tuesday nights, because there's really nothing else going.
Yeah, they're not getting any of those fake monies into the pools, like those rubles, those robles, those meebles, those marbles.
We did have a ticket submission, by the way, that is live. Mark Anderson submitted a ticket. He had 148 in the front leg.
.ca/1 where you can listen to this show currently. As Mossie's Art. Wait, what's Mark live to? That sounded like there was more to that sentence. That's why I interrupted it, Rod.
Yeah, 148 in the front leg with 4-5 with 1-5.
Okay, that sounds to me like it costs $1 bajillion, but
that's because you play $1.60 tickets.
No, that's because I forgot to carry the 4. If you carry the 4, it's actually a quadrillion. So we're gonna move on. As that London Pick4 as opposed to any other London Pick4. What about the London Bridge Pick4? It's falling down. Right. Over the Meadowlands to talk about their Pick4 sequence starting in race number 8. We're now heading to my turf. My turf. My grounds. He spreads his leg. He tightens his groin. The pecs chafe out.
What?
Are we talking about a fart?
Oh my God! What's going on here tonight?
We're on my turf now. You're in my house. Because we're at the Meadowlands. Race 8 kicks off their Pick4. And wait, I forget what this is. Isn't this the Wiggle Jiglet that kicks off this?
Yeah. Program.
Yes, it's the late closing event.
You're busy, like squeezing groins and such.
No, it's Mike. I don't know if you've ever prepared for battle. It's a very much you have to atone yourself in every respect, spiritually, muscularly, sexually. I don't have time to get into the sexually part just because
obviously.
They're not listening because they're too busy getting involved. This Wiggle It Jiggle It starts the Pick4 sequence. 3-year-old colts and geldings, the geldings of whom have never experienced the feeling of tightening the groin. Non-winners of 2 or 40,000 lifetime as of February 15th, 2019. There's more to this condition, but I don't handicap races to read books. Oh, burn! Okay, so this first leg, we got 10 horses going postward, and of the 10, Mike, you use the most.
Yeah, I use 4 because I think it's tough. I mean, a lot of these horses are coming back off layoffs and things, and a little inconsistent, and these series type races tend to lead themselves to upsets. I'm 4 deep. The 2 Twin Bee Watching raced very well at Mohawk last year. Ended up in the super final, but was no good there. Now we're Burke and Jingra raced well, kicked 26 and 4, and still somehow found a way to get beat on March 30th. But draws well, 1 for 12. By no means a lock, but I think you have to use. I think the 3 is interesting. Union Station. This horse raced well enough on the return on March 23rd. Has some stakes lines at 2, and had a tough post there. Now gets Dexter done inside post. I would imagine we'll be up close early, and just he seems like a type that could improve. He certainly has the pedigree. I think he's worth using. The 5, Respect Our Flag. This is a Buongiorno horse. Raced in like the Excelsior last year at 2. and didn't, disgrace by any means. Won a couple of those races. Qualified well, kicked 26-1, and that's the main draw here. A 26-1 kicker in a qualifier against Grand Teton, which is an obvious legitimate horse. If this horse is ready, I think you need to use. And then the 9, Actor Hanover. Marcus gets the call here. It's another Burke horse that was decent off the layoff, had stakes lines at 2. Still a maiden, but, these Burke horses can, improve rapidly. And this is another one that's bred very well. 2, 3, 5, 9.
Rod, when you were handicapping this race, you saw the 2, you were on board. You saw the 3, you're on board. You saw the 5, you're on board. But you saw the 9, and you said 9.
What? 9 what?
I figured with your blonde hair, blue-eyed Aryan, face you got there, you would have. It's German for no. It's German for no.
Yeah, but I'm Irish, so.
I mean, one and the same. Give me that so I can talk.
Okay, so I'm 3 deep here in the front leg. The 2 Twinbee watching. Like Mike said, this horse looks pretty obvious. Second start back off the layoff. I think he's going to improve, and he comes in off of a very good race where he ended up first over. Just got tired on the end of it, which is to be expected. First start in almost 6 months. So definite play from the inside. Yannick will be aggressive with this horse again. The 3 Union Station, he got used really hard last week, and I didn't really expect that first time out. I thought he was going to take a trip around, and Corey Callahan decided to go with him, and it kind of looks like maybe he just lost the drive after that because tonight you're getting Dexter Dunn to drive. So I think he was overused last time, faded at the end, and had every reason to first time back this year. But this horse is a legit stakes colt, and he seems to be coming into his own for this 3-year-old year, and after that very first start of the year, I think we're going to see a lot more of him this year, especially with that effort last time. And then the 5, Respect Our Flag. Mike pretty much said everything about this one. Decent Excelsior horse last year. Bongiorno, you can't really dismiss anything they have. They hit at a 25% clip. And the 26-1 kicker is enough for me. So I'm 2-3-5 there.
I'm 2-5.
2-5.
2-5 for me. 2-5. Well, Meadowlands has been downgraded to sloppy, by the way. You go out to that track, you just go, what a mess, because it's just mud. So, of course, it is a horse's dream. 2-5 for me, though, in this first leg of the Pick4. It's pretty simple. Twinbee watching, racing the Dave Maneri barn before Dave Maneri, whatever happened to him. But then again, he tends to ship horses down south to Ron Burke when they don't race in Canada. And this guy, on debut, raced well as the favorite to finish second, lost to 1 Corona to go, which, if I can get that order snappy, I would appreciate it. And now he makes his second start off the bench. It's pretty straightforward there. Respect Our Flag. Which flag? It doesn't necessarily specify, except it's their flag. So once we figure out where this flag is, we will make sure to respect it. He qualified well 2 times. He came home in 26-1, his most recent qualifier behind Grant Team. We all mentioned that. That's pretty straightforward. Union Station makes his second start, but I'm not a big fan of him. Not a big fan of him. Sure, he went to the lead, but then he came home slow. Of course, he went to the lead. I give him that much. I give him that much. But that's not enough for me. 2-5. Ninth race, second leg of the Pick4. Bottom level, Philly and Mare Pacers. We got 10 horses going poster this time around. And Mike, you see bottom level Philly and Mare Pacers, and you just open that wallet up.
But I think it's a very tough race, and there are some angles in the race. So I'm going to use 5 of them. The 2 live odds. This horse raced its best race in a while last time. Was wide. Ended up third at 19 to 1. Was bet. I mean, he's 0 for 2 years. I know that, but he draws well, and he kicked 28 last time. So I like wake ups. This horse is in a 2% barn, but I think it's a wide open race. So we'll try that one. The 3, Mistress Angelina, racing that same race last time and was second. Draws well. Has been racing at Freehold and doing okay, but did win 5 out of 14 last year. So has responded to Lasix favorably. I'll use that one. The 4, Traffic Jam. McCarthy drove last time, and this horse kicked 27 and 2. Is back on now. I'm not real crazy about Northfield Trippers, but I do like that race, and I think that it's worth including off of that. The 5, Amethyst Sealster, gets Yannick again after 2 straight races where the horse never took a nickel with him. But that last mile, again, it fits here. I mean, a lot of these horses look very much the same to me. So, these horses in the middle of the gate, depending on the trip, have a good chance to win the race. And then the last one is the 6, Party On, Party Girl. Comes from the Petticoat Series at Yonkers, and those are nice horses there. Gets the big track back. Has 6 lifetime wins. I'm looking basically at this horse just for class purposes. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Rod, the glasses man, got the 479. 479. 479. Why?
Why are you doing that?
Why don't you ever move? These are questions I ask too.
Why don't you ever move?
You're not the only one that's actually asked me that.
I'm not even in your bed. But Rod, why do you use these numbers?
Like you said, 479 here in the second leg. Traffic Jam the 4. I really like that last race. Come from way off the pace. Only got beat a length and a half. Keeps Andrew McCarthy on board, and she's been pretty sharp. So, she just got to do a little bit more to be able to win. She should be a little closer tonight. And in the slop, this horse likes to win. I mean, this horse does very well in the slop. So, I will use this one. I'll stay on this one on the off track. The 7, Love, Live, Laugh.
About a minute to London.
Yeah, we got about a minute to London. Love, Live, Laugh. Ships in from Saratoga. I always play these Saratoga horses on a ship in. And this one gets a class drop as well. Facing pretty tough mares up there at Saratoga. I like her chances. First time on the big track in quite a while. And then the 9, Ask Queenie. Dave Miller stays on. This horse is actually making a move and was charging hard late before breaking. Just needs to stay flat, and she's got a huge motor if she can hold it together and get the right setup. Sloppy track, a little bit iffy, but I'm still going to throw on 479.
Mistress Angelina got beaten by Better Chill Out, who has a really sharp late kick when given the setup. Otherwise, she was the best horse in that race, and now she's back in this group without Better Chill Out. That's an A+ in my book. Traffic Jam makes her second start, shipping in from Northfield. Her first start off the truck was good. Her second start could be even better. And then Love, Live, Laugh has gate speed, as she has shown time and time again at Saratoga. She comes in off a win against Similar over at Saratoga, and now she's not at Saratoga, which must mean she's here for a speed tightener, which is what Whittemore calls them. He calls them speed tighteners. That's how he wants to describe winning. I'm 3-4-7 in the second leg. We'll move on to the third leg after the second leg of this Pick4 at London. If you're not following, you better pick it up. Take some Adderall, chop it up, put it under your tongue. It metabolizes faster.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're actually not doing that.
I don't recommend that necessarily.
It's post time.
Why are you dancing? Why are you dancing like that? That's not a post time dance.
They got to do the post time. They're behind the gate. They're just behind the gate. Will you accept the fact?
Thank the Lord.
5 7-5 favorite, and the second choice at even money is the 3 Gold in the Badlands. 6 of them in line, in behind at the start. And now they're off. Gold in the Badlands to the inside as asked for speed, shows speed, and gets the lead. While Sly Baron alongside gets the pocket away. Third then to the opening quarter. Old Friends Kentucky. Back into fourth comes Puddin' Pie ahead of I Love What I Do. And then Black Vinny in the back of the pack. They go into the opening quarter. The Sextet led by Gold in the Badlands. The 3-2 second choice. A length and a half better than Sly Baron. The 4-5 first choice. 2.5 lengths back then to Old Friends Kentucky. The Rail Starters third. 3.5 lengths off the lead through a 28-4 opening quarter. Puddin' Pie remains fourth, though begins to tip off the rail as they move on to the half mile. I Love What I Do still sits fifth. As they're single file with Black Vinny capping the field from sixth. Moving on to Circuit 2, Gold in the Badlands still leads Sly Baron with Old Friends Kentucky third. And now a move comes from the back. Black Vinny first up into a 59 2 half, 30 3 for that second quarter. From sixth, Black Vinny is now fourth within 3 lengths of the leader. Gold in the Badlands as now they go to the back stretch. Sly Baron feeling Black Vinny's presence, now pops pocket, and these two gain separation from the field. Gold in the Badlands, a neck better than Sly Baron, asks for more speed to the outside, now sticking a nose in front. A gap of 2.5 back to Old Friends Kentucky, taking third as Black Vinny retreats wide of Puddin' Pie with I Love What I Do, caught behind that one, now off stride. 3/4 and 1, 28-4, 29-2 for that third quarter. Gold in the Badlands, the advantage as he cuts the corner over Sly Baron to the outside, still digging in. Old Friends Kentucky's racing up to be third as the line looms. Sly Baron trying to get past Gold in the Badlands, but Gold in the Badlands has a nose better on the wire over Sly Baron with Old Friends Kentucky third and 157-3.
I was a 4 lose that race. Whew.
I know. I get knocked out.
That trip? Are you kidding me?
I get knocked out with the favorite. What am I, stupid? We're on the third leg of the.
No, the 4 was the favorite.
Yeah,
I
4 ended up favorite.
I have 4. I don't have the 3 because I'm
do.
not stupid. I'm not. I don't take horses that drop in for claiming. I don't take horses that are for sale. It's the same reason when I'm walking down the street and I see a box that says for sale, you don't want that box because you don't want to know what's in that box. You don't want what's in that box. And thirdly, I think both of those things are tied to whatever diseases you will get from that box. Now I hear the sounds of babies crying again in my head. A wah, a wah, a wah. It sounds much more like a duck that's hungry than a baby crying, but we're all in one way like hungry ducks. The third leg of the Meadowlands Pick4's the 10th race. It's also the second leg of the Can-Am Pick4, but you better slow down because we haven't even at the Can-Am Pick4 yet. I see you trying to speed up over there. Wee-oo. You're going over the speed limit. I'm going to have to write you a ticket, bad boy. This is 10th race.
What are you talking about?
Non-winners of I told you gotta keep up, but we're sending you to the slow farm. We got non-winners of 17.
I feel like you have all this energy from like the weeks you missed, and you just bring it to the show every time. Like if you miss a week, you're like double Ray the next time.
Double gay Ray.
I didn't say that.
What? I'm just here. Girls just want to have fun. They want it. That's
yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll be boring Ray now.
No. You're double Ray. You're not.
This is the sound of me if I had neck fat and I was choking on it. The 10th race is Meadows and our 17,000 times. The 10 horses going postward in the 10th race. Rod, I'll start with you because you used 3 horses.
Yeah, I'm 3 deep. Starting with the 1, if not, why not? This one's second start back off the layoff. Does jump up in class, but just about everybody in here is jumping up in class, so it doesn't really bother me. Race well first time, just sat inside. I think Andy McCarthy is going to be aggressive tonight and look for either the front end or two-hole trip here. Going to fire hard off the wings. So expect this horse to go and possibly remove if the 3 makes the top. The 5, Rosita, adds Lasix, and last time got parked a mile, ended up clearing it like the 5 Ace was just brutalized there. I like this horse with the addition of Lasix. Dave Miller stays on, and this one has been racing against preferreds most of the time, but is competitive at this level and should be right there at the finish. I think you're going to get fair value as well on this one. And then the 6, Diogi, versus Vonstedt and Dexter Dunn. We know what he can do when he's right. He's plenty fast enough. He definitely needs a setup, and he's got to be close enough. But he can kick home in sub 28, and if he does that, I think he wins this race, and he should be right there at the wire regardless. 1, 5, 6.
Now, Mike, if I've brushed up on my Esperanto correctly, according to the numbers we have here, those are the same numbers you have that Rod has.
I agree with him. I thought the 1 raced pretty well last time, coming off the layoff, really had no chance, and, should be tighter now. The 5, the one thing I do disagree with him is I think, this horse was even money last time against similar types dropping, and now gets Lasix, and I would bet with Dave Miller and almost the same kind of thing with the Lasix, this horse is going to be close to that price again, but I think she has or he has a chance, depending on trip. I would think that, this horse should be able to get the front a little easier than it did last time. And then, the 6, like Rod said, fast enough, and I think gets a setup in the race. I mean, you have a lot of horses that like to go. The 9's the wild card. Jingra ended up there, and that horse has raced well. I don't know against these types, like almost double jumping with the 9, if this horse can handle that. And I think it could set up for a closer, and that is this horse. So it's 1, 5, 6.
You see, I would agree with those numbers if they were my numbers, but my numbers are a bit different. I include the 4 Armageddon Sealster. If you open up your calendars and turn back to December, you'll see that this horse won at the Meadowlands off a perfect trip against non-winners of 4. Now, I understand non-winners of 4 is not necessarily non-winners of 17.5. If we're talking semantically, I'm all on board with that. However, this horse tends to sit up close to the pace, and if he does that, seems like he could at least work out some kind of trip that could in some way pay off into a victory. Possibly. I'm just conjecturing. I am hypothesizing. I am photosynthesizing here that Armageddon Sealster might be able to get involved off of a pocket trip. Resita's incredibly obvious. This horse has excuses up the wazoo, so deep into the wazoo, we had to send one of those little telescopes that the doctors have when they put you under, and then they have to go woo, and then it goes up into the organs. Mike knows what I'm talking about. That's how far up the wazoo Resita's excuses are in those last couple of races. Parked past the half towards the lead, and this horse gave way as the favorite. Before that race just looked like the horse choked on itself. And then you look back to the race in the slop, which now it's sloppy. That was the best race this horse has put in by far in his last couple of starts. So maybe the damp dirt has something to do with this horse racing well. If it does, I mean, it's probably going to be the favorite, like Mike said, because it's Dave Miller first-time Lasix. And when Dave Miller gets on first-time Lasix, he's going to be going up. DRG. It's the third horse I use. This horse he needs to sit closer on cover. Dexter Dunn hops back into the bike. Last time he did that, this horse won. Maybe that means something. Then Hockey Hanover is the obvious 4th one. He's moving up in class, but he's been racing so well in his last couple of starts. It doesn't necessarily move up in class either, because none of these horses are non-winners of 17.5 types, except maybe the 10 shipping in from Miami. But most of these horses belong more to non-winners of 12.5 than they do 17. So Hockey Hanover's not necessarily making a giant step up in class, and he's going to be the speed of the race. So I'm 4, 5, 6, 9 in the 3rd leg. 4th leg is the 2nd division of the Wiggle-A-Jiggle-It, and I don't get how the 5 1 krona to go is not a single. But Mike, I'll let you start on why the 5 is not a single.
I agree with the 5. That was a huge race. My only thought is could this horse bounce off that effort? That's a very distinct possibility, especially kicking home 26-1. You get a sloppy track tonight. This horse doesn't really have any experience in that. I did use, but I'm also using the 1, which is another Buongiorno horse, and we know how sometimes they, can come off a layoff. This horse kicked 25-4 in a qualifier, and that was the second qualifier. It was greatly improved. There's obvious talent. Any horse that can come home sub 26 is just fine with me. I'm 1-5 to finish.
Oh, but Rod, you wouldn't even think about going 1-5 because the numbers you have. Oh, don't get me started. I can't handle it. You gotta take it from here, Rod. I can't handle this.
Well, I'm 4 deep here. I don't even use the 5 for a specific reason. But I start with the 1, roll with Papa Joe. It's Buongiorno. I don't really have anything else to add from what Mike said off that 25 and change kicker in that qualifier. Definite play for me. The 3, World on Edge. Another one that qualified pretty well last time. Yannick jumps on. And this horse actually beat another one that I'm using in that qualifier, but he kind of had a jump there, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and throw him on, thinking that Yannick's going to be aggressive and get this horse in the mix and stay up close. The 4, JK Captain Jack, was just awesome last week, first time out this year, and I really like his chances. Second start back with a lot of these horses coming back off the layoffs. Some might be a little short. So with him getting a start in last week, I think it's huge. And he's going to get a nice setup here following some live horses. And then the 7, Bring the Thunder. In that last qualifier, he sat back. He was 7 lengths off at the half, and the half went in 57-2. So he was there in about 59 flat and went the mile in 52 and change. 52-4 it was. And, if he can do anything, think about that last half. That's 53-4 back half in a qualifier. If he does anything close to that, I think he can win this race and be the upset in the entire sequence. So 1, 3, 4, 7.
I had one of those moments where I was wondering what that noise was, and I had to remember it was you talking. But the 5, to me, is the single of this race. I understand what you're saying, Mike, that the horse could bounce, but at the same time, too, it didn't really seem like that was too strenuous an effort since this horse was riding cover, and then he came off that cover and just kind of paced home on his own to that 26-1 final kicker to win that race. At 2-1, the horse did take play, as opposed to maybe putting in a race like that at odds of 30-1, which it was in a 9-horse field, too. But at the same time, I look at this horse's lines last year. They aren't necessarily the best 2-year-old lines, but they're decent enough to show that this horse was capable of a mile like that. And I'm rooting on the fact that in his second start of the season, he's going to improve off of that effort, especially if he can work out a similar trip. Because I know the 4 likes to grind, just given off of that race he put in last week. That was a really good win that JK Captain Jack put in. The 1. I don't know where the hell he's going to be. He could be off 20 lengths at the quarter and then blow by them all in the stretch. That's what he tried to do in his qualifier. But at the end, it seemed like the strongest effort from any of these horses came from the 5, and he's most likely to improve off of that. And not only is he a good single, but for cost purposes, makes my ticket cheap, which my ticket goes as follows. For 50 cents, I'm 2-5 with 3, 4, 7, with 4, 5, 6, 9, with 5. That's $12 for 50 cents. Mike, your ticket.
2, 3, 5, 9 with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 1, 5, 6 with 1, 5 at 60, and I played.
Run.
2, 3, 5 with 4, 7, 9 with 1, 5, 6 with 1, 3, 4, 7 is $54.
Now, if you just look at those, if you stay focused, you look at those last 2 legs of our Meadowlands Pick4's, you'll realize we already have half of the Can-Am Pick4 handicap. We can run through the other half real quick, starting with the 10th race at Mohawk Park.
They're already out in parade and
at London. Yes. But I feel like we can be somewhat quick, or at least start talking about the Can-Am Pick4, because it's going to be here before you know it, much like Christmas in June. But this first leg's the 10th race, now ours of $11,000 filly and mare pacers again in this sequence. They just keep getting the same horses every week. But I would like to start with Mike, our resident Mohawk expert over at NAHUpicks.com. You're the deepest of all of us in this first leg.
Wow, that's true. The problem is they wrote these numbers of 11,000, and really it's more like a numbers of 77,000 types in here. There's a few that aren't. The 2 Winsong Magnifique has been a popular pick these past couple weeks in this sequence. Raced really well 2 back, not so well last time, but that was against PL Hurricane, Buttermilk Hanover, much better types. You have to use this horse in the race. I think it's a most likely winner from this post, just from a class standpoint, and probably will make an early move. Loses Wah, but Fillion's a very capable replacement. Won 8 times last year, a definite use. I put the 4 on, but I wanted the 3 instead. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so my ticket has the 4, but really the 3 is the horse I wanted, Make Mine Mocha, another one that's been racing at the upper levels. Kicked 27 and 3 last time, keeps McNair, draws well. It's Moreau, another one that's probably going to be bet in the race. The 5, Outlaw, I'm a Hot the Vixen, another one that fits the class level. 1 for 12, but this horse is typically a big closer. It's Cullen, and if you look back to March 8th, that's very indicative of this horse's, rallying capabilities. Came from 13 out of it early, to win by a net, kicking in 27 and 2. The kick's always there. It's just a matter of, there's no PL Hurricane request for paroles. Watch my lucks in front of her here, and that's why I think that she's worth using. And then, wow, I really gave some bad numbers here on here. The last horse I like is the 7. So if you're looking at my ticket, it's completely wrong. Sorry about that. But the 7, Kiwi Focus, another horse that has speed, likes to win, and could be in an interesting spot turning for home, maybe 2nd or 3rd, and get a trip. So my actual numbers are 2, 3, 5, and 7. I know that's not the way it's listed on the website. I'm going to fix it right now.
Okay. Rod, you shouldn't have much more to add because you're 2, 3, 5.
Yeah, I'm 2, 3, 5 here. I really don't have much more to add. I like the inside post with the 2 Winsong Magnifique, even though Wah is not driving. The 3 Make Mine Mocha is definitely a play. Should get a nice trip again, but does need a trip. So that is a key there. And then the 5, the Cullen Barn has been red hot recently. They're hitting 362 on the year, and the last couple weeks they're just winning with everything. So for me, that's a must play. So 2, 3, 5.
I go 1, 3, 7. My angle was handicapping for speed. Manhattan again can show speed. Make Mine Mocha, although also has some good miles, can show speed. Kiwi Focus at this level can show speed. They can work out whatever kind of trips they want, but some of them were price factors, including Manhattan again and Kiwi Focus. Make Mine Mocha, to me, is probably the horse to beat in that race. But I'm 1, 3, 7 in the first leg of the Can-Am. We'll continue on with this after the 9th from London as it's moving around the turn and into the stretch. Third leg of the Pick4, 3 to 5 favorite, the 4 Spider-Man Hanover, as they are at the start and now away. Lumiere towards the inside. It gets past Stony Durkin from the rail to take charge into the first turn. Spider-Man Hanover floats up to be 3rd, marches towards 2nd, and now moves towards the lead with Expensive Toy from the 2nd tier getting away 4th. Back into 5th, Big is Better ahead of Rockstar's Megastar 6th, then back to Sandy's Candy 7th. Stern Serve trails the field as now Spider-Man Hanover bet down to 1 to 2. leads them to the quarter with Lumiere in the pocket and Stony Dirk in third. Sitting fourth still, Expensive Toy, about 5 lengths off the leader through a 28-2 opening quarter. Then another gap of 2.5 to Big is Better sitting fifth. Angling outside from sixth comes Rockstar's Megastar, looking for some cover moving into the lane, with Sandy's Candy and Stir and Serve rounding out the octet, moving towards the half. Only one out and moving, Rockstar's Megastar, as they've got to catch Spider-Man Hanover. He's already gaining separation on Lumiere. 2.5 lengths separates the leader and the pocket sitter through a 58 second half. 29 3 second quarters. Now they circle into the backstretch. Spider-Man Hanover in charge here as Lumiere tries to tighten from second. Stony Durkin's locked in as outside Expensive Toy attempts to gain ground from fourth. Locked in, Big is Better by Rockstar's Megastar, gapping cover second over. Stern serves into the flow third over, but is 8 lengths off of the leader, Spider-Man Hanover, who tripped 3/4 in 1:27 and has 3 lengths on the field around the final turn. It's Spider-Man Hanover gaining ground here over Lumiere. Stony Durkin now with room to tip off the rail, trying to take second, but that's the battle he faces. Spider-Man Hanover has the jump on him, leads by 3.5 coming to the 16th. Lumiere trying to hold second from Stony Durkin. Spider-Man Hanover, though, decisive on the line as Lumiere did take second over Stony Durkin in 1:57. All right, 2-5 favorite in my single and what would have been my live pick 4 if I had the 3 in the second leg.
I'm
Spider-Man
still live.
Hanover wins with ease over at London. Let's quickly run through the third leg of the Can-Am, which is the 11th at Mohawk. Numbers of 3,500 in this race. Now, this is a particularly wide open race, as Mike, I can assume you agree. Because it seemed.
Hopefully, I have the correct numbers now. I don't know why I messed that up, but sorry about that. I'm going to start with the 2. Franishek. This horse's second Lasix was half decent actually 2 years ago. Was a stakes type. Last year, only 12 starts, 1 win. Has returned to a lot of tough posts and tough trips. As at the proper level, gets second Lasix, and is going to be extremely difficult to beat, I think, especially if, he, McDonald, puts this horse into the race early. So that one's a use. The 3, Hurried Romance, really no chance last time. Was stuck too far back and is probably going to get hammered now off that 27-3. Was really no danger to the winner, and, is 0 for 10 this year. So that's concerning, especially given the price is probably going to be sub 2-1. The 8, Twice an Angel, who's a horse I didn't like initially, but, this horse did have a tough trip last time. It's Cullen, and, should be able to get away from the gate from this post, and I would imagine will be 1 too early. Another one that's 0 for 12 this year, but did win 4 times last year. So I think that horse, is definitely a use. And then one more, the 6, Always a Rose. Raced in an interesting race at Pocono against Just a Cowgirl. That's a nice horse and better than these. This is Osceola. Had been racing at Rosecroft. We should ask Rusk about this horse. Maybe we can a little bit later. But a little bit of class. I like Osceola's shipping up. Worth using for me, 2, 3, 6, 8.
Rod, by the sound of that, you're in almost entire agreement.
Yeah, I'm not far off. I used one other one. The 2, I don't have anything else to add there. All right, what is going on right now? I'm all messed up here.
I don't know. The whole ticket's screwed up for me, so it's
my program's getting all jittery. I don't know what's going on.
The world is supposed to be spinning. That's nothing new.
All right, I'm trying to get back on this race. But anyway, I'm 5 deep in the final leg as we get ready to go to break. I'm using all the same horses as Mike, plus the 10. And the 10 is Dazzling Rocket for the Hensleys. Closed up well last time. back half in about 56 seconds. Race well, fits well at this level, and I think is a must play. Even from the 10 hole, that it is a tough spot, but I like this horse in this spot. I will say though, the one thing you didn't mention with the 8 Twice an Angel, second start over the track, but those preferred 3s over at Flamborough, some of the horses that she was facing over there have beat better horses than what she's in with tonight over at Mohawk. Those are some pretty tough fillies over there. War Filly's a legit mare. Kiwi Focus, she's beaten now winners of 17,000. So keep that one in mind. That's going to be a good price play in this sequence, I think.
Okay, it's my turn because we got 50 seconds until the Meadowlands goes. I'm 2-3-5-8. France Choke, we talked about this one already. Went first over last out. Second time Lasix this time around with a good draw. She should be involved. Hurried Romance, 2 starts back, showed speed from post 9. But that was also when no one else showed speed, so maybe that's the only way she can get off the gate. But her most recent effort, she came home in 27-3 as the favorite with Juan the bike. The only difference is now McClure hops on for Moreau. She's just been racing really well, though, at this bottom level, so I expect that to continue. The 5 check mock ships from Flamborough for Jason Ryan. This mare was racing well over in condition claimers. The only difference now is she's moving to the bigger track and dropping the claiming tag, both of which are positives in my book, even though she was 1 for 33 last season. And the 8 Twice an Angel could also be the other speed in the race if no one else gets off the gate, which could very well happen, and leave Cullen alone on the lead with a decent priced horse. So I'm going to be 2-3-5-8 in the last leg of the Can-Am Pick4. We'll recap our tickets we can recap them quickly. For 20 cents, I'm 137 with 4-5-6-9 with 2-3-5-8 with 5. $9.60 for 20 cents. Mike, your ticket.
It's 2-3-5-7 with 1-4-5-6 with 2-3-6-8 with 1-4-5. It's 38.40, and it's different than the one Ray made up. Hopefully he can fix that before he posts it.
Rod, I didn't have time.
I am 2-3-5 with 1-5-6 with 2-3-6-8-10 with 1-3-4-7. $36. Bang bang.
Okay, I can fix the graphics after this race at the Meadowlands when we go to break, because the first leg of the Pick4 at the Meadowlands is in motion behind the gate and moving up. Even money favorite, the 2 Twin Bee Watching. Field of 10 at the start, now away, rolling on the river to the outside, shows speed with Union Station towards the inside, also firing out. Actor Hanover floats off the gate 2 into the first turn, and Twin Bee Watching towards the inside now gets away in the pocket spot. Union Station leads to the opening quarter. Twin Bee Watching drafts with Rolling on the River tucking in third. Parked out comes Actor Hanover, marching towards the lead, heading to the first quarter. Acton Hanover then sits 5th. Back 2, Respect Our Flag 6th as they go past the quarter in 28 seconds in the slop to the back stretch now. Actor Hanover clears Union Station as Roland on the River tips out from 4th and moves up towards the leader past 3/8 to take control towards the half. Twin Bee Watching sits 4th then. Ahead of Acton Hanover 5th, 6th then comes what looks to be Live Like a Boss. Then it's Respect Our Flag as they go past the half in 56 seconds, 28 for that second quarter. Moving to the far turn, Roland on the River, a length and a quarter better than Actor Hanover, now pulling off the rail for Marcus Miller to retake command of 3/4. Twin Bee Watching chases his stablemate as Union Station shuffled back to the inside of Respect Our Flag. Rather, Acton Hanover going to 3/4 in the rain. Actor Hanover ahead of Twin Bee Watching. Inside Roland on the Rivers. They're past 3/4 in 1:24-1, 28-1 for that third panel. Actor Hanover trying to hold off Twin Bee Watching while Roland on the River looks for room to the inside. Union Station caught behind that wall. He's full of pace but needs room as Respect Our Flag comes charging down the center into the final 16th. Twin Bee Watching overtaken by Respect Our Flag in the final strides as Respect Our Flag takes it by a length over Rock Me Roll Me coming from the back for second in 152-4. God, those colors look the same in the slop. Hopefully we'll fix that.
Bet all you want on the 3 next week. Holy
How about
crap.
one on the 9? The 9 was huge in the race. Absolutely ridiculous. The 3 was driven like a mutt. God, the 3 moved 4 times in the race.
Meantime, Mike, can you give me your Can-Am again?
Yeah. It's the same except for the first race is 2357.
2357. Okay, we'll get that fixed, and then we'll get the correct tickets up after the break. When we come back here on North American Harness Update, we're going to have more coverage of the Pick4 from London. We're going to continue our coverage of the Pick4 at the Meadowlands, which I'm alive in, Mike's alive in, Rod's alive in. And then we'll also have the Can-Am Pick4 kicking off with the 10th race at Woodbine Mohawk Park. So many Pick4s, you might just want to pick your nose as we go to break here on North American Harness Update on 148.ca and wherever your internet exists.
So I want to thank all of you for letting me come back here to see, what really happens backstage. It's an honor for me to be able to be in front of all of you, especially you and you and you. But I do have to say that there's money on the line out there, and you don't want to go out on the track and do something that seems a little bit iffy. Just get that extra check because it might come back to haunt you a bit later. So. Clean and fair competition is all I want to see from all you guys, all right? Yes.
Can I pick up a pylon and hold it until the stretch and then throw it to somebody else?
That to me does not sound clean and fair. That sounds, in fact, not clean and very unfair. And also kind of inconvenient. So, are you getting off the horse, or... No. Okay. Yes.
Is it all right if you're, gonna loop the field and, drag your whip in a manner and then flip off the judges or anything?
I mean,
that's not okay.
If the camera doesn't see it, but it doesn't seem like a good idea because the camera could always keep that. Yes.
Is it okay if I drink this during the race?
No. I can get you pulled over by the horsey police that are following you around the track there. That's a bad idea. That's very unfair, very unclean. Check your liver. Yes.
Is it okay to challenge somebody with a foot race after the race?
I don't see anything wrong with that. That seems pretty.
What if he's over 65?
And he has tennis shoes and you have boots.
So he's old and he's not wearing shoes?
But he's from California.
No, he wears tennis shoes.
He's from California.
But if they're tennis shoes and he's from California, doesn't that mean he's fit and vegan?
Actually, he is.
Then he's definitely clean, and that to me seems unfair for whoever's going against him.
Yeah, because they have boots on.
Look, I just want to see you guys out there racing those horses as fairly as you possibly can. All right. So do we have everyone clear on that? Clean and fair. No drinking and driving. No pylons. No middle fingers. Foot races are okay, but I'm focused more on the horse foot races.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that seems clean and fair to everybody. I feel like that's a no. Someone's hiding something.
Juan, what do you think?
Juan?
¿Cómo estás?
That's two, Juan.
Oh, that's...
¿Es correcto si pateas el caballo cuando va en la carrera?
Sí.
Sí.
Sí. Sí. Yeah.
That sounds clean and fair to me. Go out and do that. Everyone follow his lead, all right? That's what I want to see, okay?
Which is fair.
So we're gonna end this on a chant, all right? Clean and fair.
No.
Clean and fair.
Never.
Pong in Woodbridge. Police are warning dog owners of possible foul play in a King Township park. York Regional Police issued a media bulletin on Tuesday advising owners of dogs to be vigilant around Memorial Park in King City after a string of reports of dogs being ill from eating food in that area. Officers also say staff from the township had seen two men behaving oddly with a bag of food on Monday. Anyone who believes their pet is being poisoned is urged to contact police or Crime Stoppers. The new city of Richmond Hill is spending millions on windrow clearing. City Council has approved a program that will clear the bottom of 55,000 driveways, along with other service improvements at a cost of just over $4 million. The money will help cover the hiring of dozens of new employees and the purchase of additional equipment. Opposition from councillors has surfaced after the vote over worries about the cost, as well as the drawing of reserve funds to fund the program. Brampton Transit will be more affordable to seniors soon. Brampton City Council has approved a proposal to lower the price of a monthly pass on Presto for seniors to $15, 3/4 off the current price of $52. A single trip cash fare of $1, as well as a single Presto fare of $1.60 for seniors, will remain the same. Councillor Gurpreet Dillon also added an amendment to the motion requesting seniors be granted free transit by 2022. The weather, rain on the way, 12 degrees. I'll have more updates on SRN1 for...
Thank you, Phil, and welcome back to more Lilyhammer. I'm Stephen Van Zandt, joined here by Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams Jr. And we last left off, we're all live in the Pick4's, the Meadowlands. Mike and Rod are alive in the Pick4 at London, and the Can-Am is yet to get underway, but it's going too soon. The race...
at London. Great prices.
It sounds like you're in a vacuum. I couldn't hear you.
I'm live to 5 horses here. I don't know any of the prices. I haven't seen them, so.
We're not paying great, but the 2 is.
I don't have the 2.
According to the Will Pays from Sir Wilhelm Pays-a-Lot, we've got tickets live to the 1, 2, and 6 for Mike. The 1 pays $34.19, the 2 $4.70. And the 6, $35.77.
All right, what about the 3, 4, 5?
Rod's alive to basically everybody, but if the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 3's paying $61.53, the 4, $41.24, the 5, $50.45. So for a $36 investment,
I want the 3.
you better hope the 1 does not win.
I want the 3.
Well, mine was only $10 bucks. And you could have the 2, he's 35 to 1, but you get almost 500.
Well, we've got to add the important precursor that he has to win.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have it. I've got the thing. I have it. I need it. I have it twice for 1,000, whatever it is. I'll take that.
Anyone would, but you just got to hope the horse gets off the gate.
There's worse 30 to 1 shots you can have. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this horse.
True, I bet them. 2 minutes to go until this race at London. 8 to 5, 2 8 to 5 favorites. The 3 Fluentosity, the slight favorite, is now Large in Legacy's the even money favorite at this point.
I don't understand the money on the 3. That's not my kind at all.
No, not mine either.
The horse raced Giant last week, first over. And you're going from Ryan Holiday to Austin Sorey, who's been on fire lately.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, Rod. This is horse racing, not driver racing.
What's your point?
I got it. I showed him. We nailed it.
The 6 is a little overbetting there. I mean, the 6 is 4 to 5. That's...
Yeah,
well, I mean, what'd you expect? I mean, she's won 3 in a row.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, 4 to 5's low.
It
Lady
is.
Oxford is 18 to 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big price on that horse.
I agree. Lady Oxford
40 to
definitely
1's a huge
plays.
price on the 2.
Wait, and the 1 is 9 to 1.
Yeah, that's a good price on the 1.
You know, the 1 is way overvalued right now. The 4 is taking more money than I thought.
Well, it's because of the extra 16th. That's gonna play to her advantage a lot.
It is. I mean, she cannot close everything in here. She just has to get the right trip. That's the key with her. She's always, I mean, a dead trip horse, so if she doesn't get like the perfect setup, she's nowhere to be seen. So
Meanwhile, 15-1 on Lady Oxford.
So, yeah, I mean, 15-1 on Lady Oxford is too high, and 7-1 on Together We Run for a horse that's likely going to be on the front or the 2-hole is too high.
I just bet Lady Oxford because 15-1 that's value in my book. Together We Run is not in price, and it'll probably be what, like 2 to 5 come post time. That's how it happens. Fluentosity cannot wait to get to the gate. The rest of them can. Now they're lining up for the final leg of this Pick 4 and the final race on the card from the raceway deep within the Western Fair District. Encapsulated within this district, Western Fair.
I love to see the 2 trick them here at 50. You'll think I'm a genius.
When the horse falls down, because he's too slow. He was saying different stories.
Oh, you gotta love the delay from RTN. Love it.
They're at the start and they're off. Lady Oxford asks for speed from St. Louis Creek. Also launches to the outside for Shepherd into the first turn. Lady Oxford leading Falls Creek. That's back to Together We Run in third. Sports Crazy away fourth. Fluentosity now tucks into fifth. Ahead of Largen Legacy, sixth. Back then to Salzbrook Coral, Lady Everlong in the back of the pack. Friends to the end of this field as Lady Oxford sets the pace. Over Falls Creek, sitting the pocket. Together We Run, pacing in third as Sports Crazy remains fourth. Together We Run, though, beginning to tip off the rail as they move towards the half mile from fifth. Off the rail now comes Fluentosity. Largen Legacy flushes that one's cover. Salzbrook Coral is now fourth over in this developing flow, chasing Lady Oxford to the half. Lady Oxford, a length and 3/4 better than Falls Creek, locked in now by Together We Run, marching uncovered. Sorry asking for speed as Largen Legacy busts. Third over around the turn. Largen Legacy on a gallop. Salzbrook Coral taken back, so now in the backstretch. That was Fluentosity off stride. Largen Legacy second over. The yellows and the whites. Am I right, people? It's Lady Oxford, a neck better than Together We Run, digging in on the outside. Falls Creek sitting a tight pocket now, waiting for racing room as Largen Legacy is tipping 3 high into the final turn. From the back, Sports Crazy trying to gain ground. Deeper on the track, Friends to the end, mounting her bid as they come to the top of the stretch. Together We Run has now overtaken Lady Oxford, while on the outside trying to gain room, Largen Legacy, and off the rail, who's that horse? It's Falls Creek. Lady Oxford inside. Together We Run outside. Falls Creek coming too, but at the wire, Lady Oxford might have held off Together We Run in sight. Falls Creek, that was the one that sat. Not who she was, but she closed for third.
Bang, bang.
That has not been my night calling, but I think I got there with Lady Oxford.
Yeah, and I got shut out betting her.
Well, what didn't make sense either was that she was paying the same in the Pick 4s that the 4 was, the 6 was, the 1 was. It's like $50.
Well, that's another week that we gave out a winning Pick 4. That's 6 weeks in a row.
I would have had it if I would have used the 3. I went 3 of 4.
I went 4 of 4.
For
Bang,
a $36
bang.
investment, you get $50. That's right, the return is 4 to 5.
Don't care. A win's a win.
Don't get me started. We have 40 minutes left of this show. As now we move over to the Meadowlands, and I open up Northville Downs for some reason. Their 9th race is going, if anyone cares. The Meadowlands.
I care when they start paying us to do a segment on them.
Thanks for the input. I'll ask you again in a week.
Okay.
They're parading now for the 9th of the Meadowlands, second leg of the Pick 4 there. And then right after that, Mohawk's going to get going with the Can-Am Pick4. Party on Party Girl's the favorite at 2-1. What the hell are they betting here? What? Get lost betting this Zurich horse. They bet Rockin' Praline in that top-level mare race, even though she was moving up in class. She finished off the board. You can't just bet Zurich for Zurich's sake. It doesn't work that way. The horse has to be good also. That's an important factor in horse racing. It's not trainer racing, ladies and gents. I tip my cap. We proved them again. But we also have some levies to talk about. And as I say that, they're already at 60 seconds to post the Meadowlands. So God forbid we try to cram as much racing as possible into 2 hours because there's just too much racing. We have 3 Pick4's going. One's already complete. The second is moving to the second leg, and the third will have the first leg going in about 10 minutes. If that's too many numbers for you, please call an ambulance. 30 seconds to go.
And then we've got the Pick3 from Rosecroft for Sunday.
Oh God, there's more. Oh man, I don't even understand
We're
how
gonna be
I
rolling.
can keep up.
Gonna be rolling through these things.
And not only that, at the end of the day, the people who bet these races are scrolling through the channels. They're keeping up more than I can. Just going in between tracks, and then just oh man, there's so many races. And we talk about how little horses there are. There's so many races.
Yeah, there
My
are.
current is melting down right now. But also, I made like $24, so I already paid for my Can-Am Pick4. I'm playing with their money now. That's like the worst thing you could possibly think, because that's what causes gambling problems.
That was
That's not what causes gambling problems.
no.
Huh?
So that's not what causes gambling problems.
Well, I mean, you could also talk about an excess release of dopamine on the rewards pathway inside of your neural synapses, but those are so many words that only 3 people care about, especially when the 9th race is going to gate at the Meadowlands. Definitively, probably the worst favorite I've ever seen. Party on Party Girls, 5-2. The 10, Blush Hanover's the second choice at 3-1. Third choice, 4, Traffic Jam. Field of 10, in line, in behind, approaching the start for the 9th. At the Meadowlands, the filly and mare Pacers are now away with Blush Hanover to the outside, blasting off the gate. Party on Party Girl also pushing for position. Mistress Angelina towards the inside, though, going to get to the cones quickest to the first turn. As now Party on Party Girl floats up into contention for second. Love, Live, Laugh. Also ranging up there ahead of Live Odds, who gets away 4th. Traffic Jam sits 5th, while Blush Hanover tucks in 6th out of Late Night Delight. There then back to Amethyst Sealster 7th. Rosie Outlook is 8th. And last in the back, Ask Queenie as they move past the quarter in 27-4, leading the way now. Party on Party Girl as Mistress Angelina is now pop pocket for Ginsburg and is marching back towards the lead, moving to the 3/8 ball. Love, Live, Laugh stalks to the top 2 from 3rd, gapped out about 2.5 lengths as Mistress Angelina is attempting to clear Party on Party Girl. Just does as Ginsburg shows her the whip, gains separation of a length and 3/4. Off the rail from 4th comes Live Odds, flushed out by Traffic Jam second over as they go past the half in a quick 56 seconds, 28-1 that second quarter. Third up in the flow comes Blush Hanover. Into the turn is now Live Odds, engages with Mistress Angelina. Those two match strides, while Party on Party Girl drops back in 3rd, now 4th shuffled back. On cover, Traffic Jam is caught behind Live Odds as now she begins to drop back. Blush Hanover has 3.5 lengths to make up, while Love, Live, Laugh is locked in at the rail, coming to 3/4. Mistress Angelina at 17-1. Leads them in 125, but off cover, here comes Traffic Jam, let loose by McCarthy to take the lead coming into the 8th pole. Blush Hanover is rallying up to be second. Live Odds looks for room, then deeper on the track comes Amethyst Sealster. Traffic Jam needing the line as Blush Hanover passes by, and Amethyst Sealster, widest of all, trying to sweep past, but Blush Hanover has the nose on her, takes it in 153-3. Amethyst Sealster settles for second. Traffic Jam looked she held on 3rd. All right, I get knocked out by a horse who just refuses to win, eventually winning this.
Isn't it great how the 5 was sideways in the stretch there and was like way? Watch the horse take 3 steps horse comes out on it.
I know, it's like every race I've ever driven in Catch Driver. I'm really irritated, though, that the 3 was overdriven in that race. She could have won that if she.
The 5 should have won it.
Okay, well then now we're talking. Now our own biases are showing themselves because you had the 5.
I mean, just watch the stretch. I mean, I agree that 3 was overdriven, but.
And I wanted the 3. He was my top pick over at NAHUpicks.com. She was my top pick over at NAHUpicks.com. And we would have preferred that over a 2-to-1 shot who's just
dropping at all on any ticket. I mean, you can't. Just can't.
Blush Hanover's had too many opportunities. But I mean, if you could have bet this horse purely off the class angle, but that would be boring.
We got to move on.
Yeah, we got because the Levies have to happen at some point. We have to talk about the Levies. We can't just Levy them alone.
I was surprised at some of your picks in these Levies there, Rod.
Why?
Well, I'm more surprised that Rod can read. But
like some of your picks, I thought were a little quirky.
What's really great though about this time of year with the Levies is that a bunch of horses have given up. There's now only 4 divisions in the 4th round of the Levy series. We've got 7 in this first split lining up. A couple familiar faces. J.J. Flynn, he won 2 weeks ago, was second as the odds-on favorite last week. Endeavor was the odds-on favorite, but didn't win. Pacing Major won at 67-1 because the race went too fast. So, of those 7, you 2 clearly have opinions, and I want to hear them fight.
Well, in the front leg here, the 3 Endeavor I like best. Bartlett jumps on this week. T-Trick chose the 4 J.J. Flynn for obvious reasons. But if you look at... Huh?
I said, why didn't you?
Because Endeavor last week, I think, had an excuse. He got down to the half pretty fast. He was used hard early. He was 3 wide going in the first turn, and he really had to press hard and just got tired late. That's not his trip. His trip is kind of sitting and grinding out a race, not being pressed the whole way and going 100 miles an hour on the front. That's not what he does best. I think Bartlett's going to have him in the right spot, and he can come back and win over a horse that's going to be a heavy favorite in J.J. Flynn, who by no means impressed me last week. He got beat, really just blown away by a horse that was better than him last week, and he offered up nothing when that horse charged at him. So I'm going to go with Endeavor here and try to beat the big favorite.
To be fair, Rod, to be fair, if Lion Steel came up to challenge Endeavor, I don't even think Endeavor would have won. So it's not... That's
well, like I said, Endeavor is not a front-end type of horse. He's a grinder. His best game is grinding on the outside, not cutting a mile.
That race, JJ.
The 3 benefited 2 back from a perfect drive.
Yeah.
And last week was 3-5 and couldn't get it done and lost to a horse that was 70-1 almost. While JJ Flynn, had a horse fly by and basically run a hole through the wind. At least that was a 51 and that was a 50 and 4 mile. I mean, that was 2 seconds faster than the race that Endeavor went, that he couldn't even hang in that. So I mean, I don't know where this horse is going to find 2 seconds, and you're going to get a worse price than you ever want to. The 4 is extremely obvious in the race, and even though he didn't offer much when that horse went by, he offered enough to hang for second and outpace everything that was next to him. He's 6 for 9 on the year. He won 8 times last year. And T-Trick is sitting there too. I mean, he's not stupid. So I mean, I just think it's not a great betting race by any means.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily know how much you can handicap the times into it, because this race could go 53 for all we know. And if that's the case, then it could be anyone's race at that point, judging by times. I agree with you on J.J. Flynn, though. Just judging off of his trips, he's the strongest horse in this field. As the favorite last out, was beaten by a horse that just was peaking at the right moment. Can't necessarily say why that horse blew him away, but J.J. Flynn's clearly the horse to beat. For some kind of price, I'm a Rock and Roll Legend's kind of interesting to me. He sat off the pace when they sped up on the front, then he came home in 27 and 4. These outside horses are ones to watch if you want to try and bet some exotics, but again, that's only if you want to, because you got to beat J.J. Flynn, and you're going to get a massive underlay and pacing major towards the inside. So I'm a Rock and Roll Legend might be overlooked for the underneath spots. Second division's the 7th race. We've got 8 horses this time around, a full gate, with More the Better coming in off a pocket-popping win as the 2-1 favorite last week. We also have, to the inside, Anything for Love. He won the first leg of this series, but then kind of tailed off a touch. Rodeo Romeo just doesn't want to win by the looks of it. So the question here is, More the Better is the one to beat. How beatable is he? Start with you, Rod. Or whoever.
Well, I mean, he's definitely beatable. I mean, he's got the outside. It's a big-time negative post switch, and he got a perfect setup last week to win that race. Everything kind of fell into place for him to win last week. I do like the horse. I mean, he fits well here. He's not going to be able to get that trip again, though. He's going to need a lot to happen. I just don't see the speed in this race for him to come from off the pace. So there is a sneaky speed horse in the 4, I'm Some Graduate. I think George Brennan is going to, or Matt Kakaley is going to fire with him from the middle. The 1, Anything for Love, is going to go 100 off the car like he always does. And if I'm Some Graduate goes, then I think that he's going to end up in a 2-hole, and he's got a good shot if he can work out that trip and secure that pocket ride. He's going to be great value in here, and I really like him. And then the 1, Anything for Love, will be cut into fractions. If he gets a slow half, he can hold off this field. This is the weakest bunch of all the Levy divisions, I think.
I do want to mention, if you haven't gotten your Can-Am Pick4 bets in, they are going to gate soon. The countdown clock hasn't started, but they're at 0 minutes to post for the first leg over Woodbine Mohawk Park. With Windsong Magnifique, the current favorite at 9 to 5. But Mike, I feel like they're second Levy division, especially looking at how much I'm Some Graduate's been improving. I really liked this horse 2 weeks ago, but that last mile really makes it seem like he could be the value in this race. I don't know if you see any value at all.
I don't know. I like a different horse, that I think that he gets a giant setup, and it's the 2, Control Tower, who had really no chance in the first leg. From the 7-hole, was 109 to 1, just pitched that race. Then, ran into Endeavor, and he had a total inside trip, that time, and the winner was gone there. But this horse raced well enough, kicked 27 and 3 to be second in there, and then last week had another sort of outside draw and ran into the line steal J.J. Flynn's of the world, which either one of those 2 horses would probably be 2 to 5 in here. So, I hate the 1 completely. The horse has been, had the front end 2 weeks in a row, with Stone Cold Anchor 2 weeks, and then last week didn't look much better, to be honest. I hope that this 4 goes. I hope that some of these others go to put pressure, and even Nocturnal Blue Chip's a sneaky horse off the card too. Teacher's getting on that one. That horse can leave in the race. It sets up for a closer. He's going to be the closer in the race. It's just a matter of, can he get in the right spot to unleash? I think he's the value, and he's the pick.
You see, that's where we disagree, because I think the 4 can be the closer of the race.
He could be.
Especially,
I don't mind him. He's sort of like my alternate pick in the race.
He's been riding cover most weeks. In the first leg of the Levy, he did go first over, but his best race by far was the one he put in last week.
He probably hung a bit, though, last week. I mean, shouldn't he have gone by there? And he just didn't.
I don't really have much to say aside from that. He gained 3 lengths It's difficult to close over
this. Did you watch the race? Is what I'm asking you. Did you watch the race?
I did not.
Okay, so if you watch the race, let me know what you think of it.
Okay.
That was my only problem with it. Like, I thought he looked a stone cold winner and still found a way. Bothers me.
Well, to be fair, the 6 is not necessarily a terrible horse.
Absolutely not. But I felt like he should have won, and he didn't. And when that stuff happens, I get turned off.
Well, they're lining up here for the first leg of the Can-Am. I'm live to the 1-3-7. Mike has the 2-3-5-7. Rod has the 2, 3, and 5. Winsong Magnifique's the favorite at 8-5. Second choice at 3-1. The 3, Make Mine Mo. Third choice at 8-1. Outlaw, I'm a Hot Vixen. 10 in line to kick off the Can-Am Pick 4. From Woodbine Mohawk Park as they're at the start. And now they're off with Pretty Hot pushing off the car. Make Mine Mocha also moving for position with Miss Cheeseman clearing into third, while Manhattan again lets her go from fourth. Exhilarated from the far outsides, left out by Winsong Magnifique taking fifth, so Exhilarated's going to tuck in sixth. Ahead of Outlaw, I'm a Hot Vixen seventh, back to Kiwi Focus eighth, Lions Hedgebet ninth, and Naughty Lady B last of the 10. Opening quarter goes in 28 seconds as Pretty Hot leads the way over Make Mine Mocha to the backside. Miss Cheeseman sits in third, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Manhattan against behind the top 3 and fourth, 3.5 lengths from the top is now Make Mine Mocha. Out from third for McNair, circles past Pretty Hot to the lead. Back fifth then comes Winsong Magnifique looking for some cover as Exhilarated tips off the rail. Behind that one, Outlaw I'm a Hot Vixen's now third over as Winsong Magnifique's going to march uncovered towards the top past a 56 and 4.5, 28 and 4 for that second quarter. Moving into the far turn, Make Mine Mocha, a length better than Pretty Hot to the inside, locked in by Winsong Magnifique, now ranging up towards the leader to 3/4. Locked in then, Miss Cheeseman's shuffled to fifth. Exhilarated second over in fifth then, with Manhattan again shuffled back to the inside of Outlaw I'm a Hot Vixen, third over. Then fourth over comes Lions Hedgebet. Kiwi Focus shuffled second to last. Naughty Lady B asked for a bit more speed as they're past 3/4, 125 and 2, 28 and 3 for that third quarter. McNair's been raiding Make Mine Mocha. She's got to go now as Winsong Magnifique rings the bell. Wide of her, she moving up towards the lead. Pretty Hot to the inside, trying to gain ground. Miss Cheeseman splits horses from the back, and Outlaw I'm a Hot Vixen far outside. Make Mine Mocha, I may have stuttered. She has not. She holds the lead to the line. Make Mine Mocha, a neck better than Outlaw I'm a Hot Vixen, with Winsong Magnifique third. Pretty Hot towards the inside, 2 in 1.
2 was second there, actually, not the 5.
Whoopsie.
I thought 5 got second.
My brain collapsed there.
That's a typical McNair drive right there. I mean, that's why he wins so many. Because
it felt like he was so purposefully timing his move, and that was a beautiful race to watch.
Yeah. I mean, he's as legit as it gets. I mean, he really is.
I move on. Mike moves on. Rod moves on. We got the 5-2 second choice. First leg of the Can-Am Pick 4's. Now
bang.
Shift to the Meadowlands right after we finish off these Levies. The third division of the Levies, race number 8 tomorrow night. These are tomorrow night, by the way, Saturday, April 6th, because today's April 5th. You go to tomorrow, it's going to be the third division. We see the downtown bus. He tried to sit the pocket from post 7, but then it looked like he got locked in. Finished 5th there in that race. We got the Wall, who upset 3 weeks ago, almost did again at 58-1. Lions steal the 10-1 shot that just blew everyone away in his division. Okay, first things first, Lions steal has to bounce, right? Off of that mile?
You would think.
I like him, though. I still think he has a good chance to win. I mean, my problem is he's not in against much. The downtown bus is very trip dependent. He got a complete collapse when he won. I don't know how they're going to drive the horse. He seems to do better when he's off of it. The 2's going to go 900 off the gate. So's the 1.
Why is everyone doing hundreds off the gate? That's my question.
I think it's 6-8. I don't think you can really play anything else in the race. I mean, I know they're outside, but they just look like the best of me.
Yeah, the thing with Ideal Jimmy is he's got early speed and he can just rocket off the car when he wants to. And you got a guy in Brent Holland that can get one off the gate as well or better than anybody that's there.
He started last week, though, and was extremely good. I mean,
Yeah.
He lost to a perfect trip.
Yeah, he raced extremely well last week, which, by the way, he lost to the horse that I had.
You had him.
I had that horse the week before, too. I was upset that I saw he won. I didn't even get to just...
Yeah, but there was no value. It was 3-1. Who cares?
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was a good pick, but it was 3-1. I mean...
But yeah, I'm on Ideal Jimmy here as well. I think, even from the 8-hole, I think Brent is going to get him in the right spot and, go back to what he did a couple weeks ago and win.
I would only go with Ideal Jimmy if he is around 5-1 from post 8. I don't know. I don't think you're gonna get that either.
Mm-mm.
The only horse that continues to intrigue me in this series is the Wall, especially since he won in that upset 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, tried to go first over, so you toss that race out. He set it up for the downtown bus. Last week, sure, he lost a pacing major, but he still came flying home in 27-3 to finish second there. Did have a bit of a setup, but again, the form is there.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not as trip dependent as the downtown bus because it seems like he can at least put forth more of an effort with less of a trip, if that makes sense. And it seems like he just keeps getting ignored. Not only that, like looking outside of the main horses, Ideal Jimmy and Lion Steel, some bad dude had to leave the series into a non-winners of 8 so he could just get a win. And same with Better Memories, which the fact that they had to drop out of the Levy series to just get some kind of confidence-boosting win could mean that they come into this race better, or at the same time could mean they're not necessarily up to par with the horses in this series. And looking at the prices they might go off, I tend to lean the latter, considering the Wall's probably going to be value in this race again.
You're definitely going to get a price if you like. I'll agree with you there.
But again, it's all dependent on what they do with Ideal Jimmy. The final division then is the 10th race. There's only 7 horses. Luciano's injury scratch. Western Fame is 6-5 on the morning line. I think that's the story here. Does he lose?
No.
He wants to be into 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
No thanks.
Although Hanover's been improving, by the looks of it.
It's okay.
Okay, then I guess it's a unanimous vote on Western Fame in the final Levy division. 10:43, 17 minutes to midnight. If you live in Nova Scotia. We're also waiting for the 10th race at the Meadowlands to go. 6-5 favorite, the 9 Hockey Hanover. 5-2 second choice, the 1 If Not Why Not, then the 5-1 third choice, the 6 Diogi. In the Can-Am, I'm live to the 4, 5, 6, and 9. Mike's live to the 1, 4, 5, 6. Rod has the 1, 5, 6. We can shift over to Rosecroft at any moment.
Yeah. I figured, I might as well get my front leg in since they're taking their sweet time like they usually do.
Yep. Even though it's supposed to be no drag.
Yeah. It's been 0 minutes for 12.
Good. I mean, it's been
better.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been fine. I don't. You guys are like big drag, like naysayers. I don't really care.
I do.
They're gonna race. They're going to get there. I guarantee it.
Yeah, well, I would like to know when. That's...
Okay, okay. I mean, you're sitting here watching the races. What the hell else do you have to do?
No, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here on the show.
The ultimate get.
I'm sitting here on the show, and I have to keep looking over because it said 0 minutes for 6 minutes now. So I don't know when the hell they're going.
Well, yeah, but now they.
So if it just said 1 minute, then I would know in 1 minute they're going to freaking go to the gate.
Remember, like, when you were a kid and your parents would tell you, we'll see? That's what they mean. We'll see. They'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. And you wonder why kids hate their parents.
That's not true. I hate your parents. My parents are great.
Oh, God, Rod.
Look, are you going to talk or not? I'm watching the gate for you.
Okay,
First,
so...
you're going soon. Then just be quiet.
All right.
Race.
All right, so...
Sunday, April 7th, 2019. Race for
We're really going to start this? Okay.
Yes. Because I think the front leg of this pick 4 is fairly simple.
Pick 4?
Or pick 3, sorry, pick 3. We're in pick 4 mode tonight. But I'll start with the 2 Skyway, Brenlin's Fib. I think that's how you say the name. Got shuffled back last week. This horse is only 2 for 37, but with the inside post, definitely a trip horse, but I think should be played from the inside and makes sense here. And then the other one I'm going to use from the middle of the gate is the 5. How's it going, I guess?
Yeah, going.
Okay, how's it going? This horse cut the fractions last week and just got caught at the end of the mile over at Dover. Comes back to Rosecroft. If you look last year, as a 2-year-old, he paced in 53-4 in the Maryland Cider Stakes races. So, the talent is obviously there. Just needs to be in the right spot to win this race. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
So what are the numbers?
I just told you the numbers.
Well, you
2-5.
repeat them to the people who aren't listening. And they go, oh, is he done talking? And then they hear the numbers and go, okay, those are the numbers he likes.
2-5.
2-5. Okay. Thumbs up. We'll continue with this after the 10th race of the Meadowlands as it's going to gate.
I can't believe Rosita's 7-1. I'm shocked. Absolutely. This horse must be no good, right? 7-1.
Yeah, that's a little high.
This horse was the favorite and was no good.
I expected the horse to be even money in this race. He's 7-1.
My favorite, the 9 Hockey Hanover, second choice 5-2. The 1, if not, why not? 6 Diogi is the third choice at 5-1. Second leg of the Can-Am pick 4. Third leg of the Meadowlands pick 4. In motion and approaching the start. Often trotting Reseda, trying to leave from the center. Outside goes Simply Volo, and Hockey Hanover, the favorite, floating away towards the inside. Then, if not, why not? Clears command into the first turn. Arrakis gets away in second. Simply Volo moves up to be third, while Reseda gets to the cones in fourth. Second up comes Hockey Hanover in the early going. They're then back to Diogi, caught wide of Armageddon Sealster. Then another breath to the outside of that one, and Celebrity Pegasus in the back of the pack. 28-3 opening quarter. Hockey Hanover ranging up to take control from If Not, Why Not, while Arrakis sits behind the top 2 from third and Simply Volo's fourth. Off the rail from fifth comes Reseda as Miller gets underway with that one. To the inside, Diogi's in sixth. Seventh and wide, now with cover, goes another breath. Celebrity Pegasus is third over eighth. And Armageddon Sealster's in the back of the field, about 9 lengths off of Hockey Hanover past the 57-4 half. 29-1 that second quarter, moving to the far turn. Hockey Hanover, a length and a quarter better than If Not, Why Not, sitting pocket. Reseda's ranging closer, now within a length of the lead, moving to 3/4. Another breath is second over, and looming the danger, while Arrakis to the inside needs racing room. Celebrity Pegasus third up, and now within 4 lengths of the lead, but Hockey Hanover holding sway past 3/4 in 127-2, 29-3 for that third quarter. Hockey Hanover's got to hold off Reseda to the outside, while If Not, Why Not needs racing room towards the pocket. Hockey Hanover into the 8th pole, a length better than Reseda, digging into that one. If Not, Why Not cannot get out, while Arrakis tries to battle for third from Armageddon Sealster and Simply Volo. Hockey Hanover's extended over Reseda, and Hockey Hanover has it by a neck. Reseda second from If Not, Why Not, and then on the far outside, Diogi for fourth, 156. All right, we got a 3-5 shot in the second leg. Would have preferred Reseda to get there, but that was the best.
I didn't even use that pig.
It's just awful.
Reseda put in the best race that he had in a long time.
Yeah, but he was holding them together. I mean, it's just whatever.
Well, maybe once the track gets fast, it could be a bit different.
Maybe somebody should just not let Yannick go a minute middle half. Like once. Just once. It's amazing. Every race, it's the same thing.
That's just not my kind at all. That's fine. I mean, 3 to 5. I'm going to lose every time when that horse wins.
Ray's alive.
Good job, Ray.
Yay. And we're
My actual ticket is dead. Your fake ticket's alive. Thank you.
I bet mine.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
No. Okay. I told you that before the show.
Oh, I didn't know you actually played.
Because I really like this sequence.
All right, we got 9 minutes to do Rosecroft here.
Yeah, and 1 minute until the 11th over at Mohawk. But back to Rosecroft. First, is Russ alive?
Yeah.
Where is Russ?
Russ should be on any second.
Well, Christmas is coming too, you know.
I told him to jump on as soon as this race went at the Meadowlands.
The only time Russ ever appears is in my dreams. Where Rod talked about the 2 and the 5 as his main horses in the first leg of this pick 3 for Sunday, April 7th at Rosecroft. Are the 2 and the 5 also your horses?
I agree on the 5. I mean, I think the 5's fairly obvious after that Dover race. 1 for 12 life, but draws in the middle of the gate, should get the front. I'm surprised you don't like the 9, though. I mean, this horse was racing at stakes at 2, came off the bench after not racing forever, and, blew away a field, albeit numbers of 1. But these numbers of 2s, most of them have only won 1 race. So, you're going to get a decent price on the 9. That's a really nice line there. From the 9 last time, it's Dylan Davis. I don't think you can ignore that one, so I'd be 5-9.
I also would be 5-9. Now, Ceiling Man, what numbers do you
coming on camera tonight?
Russ, can you hear us?
What's going on, everybody?
Donning the wife beater.
Don show, baby.
Wife beater hammer, baby.
Does it have a beer stain on it? Because it's not a wife beater if it doesn't have a beer stain.
It's brand new. It's a first time starter.
Oh, it's a dress.
It's a non-winners of 1 or 5,000 life.
Complete junk.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's a lot of money to put on a tank top.
Yes.
But I am on the 5 and the 9 in this first leg of the pick 3. Mike's on the 5 and the 9. Rod thinks the 2 is the 9, but goes 2-5 anyway. Russ, set all of us straight on what direction we should take in the first leg of this pick 3.
Oh my god, I'm already on 3 shots already today, guys. So let's
Well, with those guns, you might as well be on 4.
Yeah, I will need one after this show's over. But anyway, I think this is an easy single to trump that Rusted and 9 horse. And the reason why I like this horse so much, the first start of the year was practically on Wednesday, 2 days ago. And he pretty much just went on by Cool Flying Charlie and Ice Chip. There wasn't really much in there. First start of the year, he was racing in the Sire Stakes from Maryland last year. And he's getting prepared for that. That's going to start in a few weeks. And I don't know if he's going to win the series, but the horses he's facing on Sunday, there's not much in here. But the horse...
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even a Dover shipper?
I'm not even worried about a thing. I mean, this horse is not worried about a thing at all. But I did pick the horse second, though.
Okay.
How's It Going is how you say that horse's name. Comes for Dover. After picking up 3 checks in a row, Frank reunites with him after racing him in Maryland Sire Stake action last year. Could the horse run second? Possibly, and Exactor will probably pay anywhere from $8 to $12. And then Skyway Brenlin's Fib will round out the trifecta for me. Stayed on the rail last week, picked up a 3rd place finish, likely in the money again until he wins. He's underneath for me, and go ahead.
Well, with that, that, we move on to the second leg. It's the fifth race, and we'll be quick because they're parading at Mohawk. They're bound to make the turn any second. We got Nars at 2,500 their last 4 starts with 9 going postward. Rod, what are the numbers?
Even though I hate using the guy, I'm going to go with a 1 spin out. The class drop is just too much to ignore. A must use for me. And you get an inside draw. The rail's been much better this season over at Rosecroft. I just can't ignore on the class drop. And then the 7, Adios Muchachos, hasn't been very good recently, coming in off a break, but you get the driver change back to John Wagner. I think this one wakes back up on the class drop as well, 1-7.
Mike, 20 seconds to post. Can you make it quick?
I think the 4 has a chance in the race. I just kind of like as an old class horse, 24 wins. He fits at this level, especially from this post. And then the 5, I think, also has a chance. Was racing a little better at the lower level, but it's good enough from this part of the gate. The last race was bad. Just throw that out. I'd be 4-5.
I agree with the 1 on the class drop, and the 4 has shown gate speed, but who does the Hustler like? You're going to have to wait until we get done with this third leg of the Can-Am Pick4 as it's lining up. 2, 3, 5, and 8. The 2, French Choke, is the favorite at 2-1. Always a Road, also at 2-1. Third choice then at 5-2. The 3, Hurried Romance. The guns are ablazing.
Bang, bang.
This field 10 is in motion and approaching the start. Often pacing, always a Rose off stride. So Franchouk towards the inside moves for the lead. Twice an Angel out 2. Ask My Secretary also brushing up from the far outside. And now Ask My Secretary past the first 8th, parked out by Cullen. And Twice an Angel giving Ask My Secretary a seat in the pocket. Franchouk's going to sit behind the top 2 from 3rd, moving to the opening quarter. Chocolate Terror is then 4th, 3.5 lengths off the lead. Back 5th comes Checkmock, ahead of Hurried Romance in 6th. 7th goes Just a Bit Mean, ahead of Pickles on top 8th. 9th then Dazzling Rocket, and Always a Rose catches the field in the back of the pack for Drury as they go past the quarter in 28 and 2. Twice an Angel sets the terms, but now lets Franchouk, who draws alongside right on by to the half mile. Ask My Secretary shuffle to 3rd. Chocolate Terror stalks from 4th, as now Ryan's underway with Checkmock from 5th. Riding that cover comes Hurried Romance 6th. 7th on the outside comes Just a Bit Mean. 3rd up in the flow now through a 57 and 3/2. 29 and 1 that second quarter. Into the far turn, chasing Franchouk. Franchouk a length better than Twice an Angel. Checkmock ranging into contention within a length of the lead, while Hurried Romance is also carried 2nd over. Locked in then comes Ask My Secretary, shuffled to 5th. Just a Bit Mean, about 3.5 lengths off the lead. Then from the back, Always a Rose gets rolling, but is off stride once more. Past 3 quarters in 1:27, 29 and 2. Franchouk turns first. Twice an Angel trying to shake loose from the pocket. Checkmock to the outside, trying to get past. Then splitting horses from the back. Chocolate Terror to the inside of Hurried Romance. Franchouk holding sway. Checkmock to the outside, trying to get past. Franchouk a length better than Checkmock, while Twice an Angel to the inside is holding 3rd. Franchouk gets to the wire first. Checkmock 2nd. Twice an Angel did hold 3rd in 1:55 and 3. I almost got a 47-1 shot up there.
You picked the 5 there. That's an excellent selection. Very, very nice.
I had 2, 3, 5, 8, and I believe that was the top 4.
That is a huge pick. That is really nice.
That would have been incredible. I believe there was interference.
No.
In the back stretch.
That would have been a bigger pick for me.
What did you like there? What were you on there?
Well, first things first, I always take notice of these horses that ship from Flamborough because that's a move to the bigger track. The horse is racing decently in the claimers over there, and now was going in for no tag.
Okay, I mean that was good. I mean, my problem with a horse that's, and there's a reason why he's 1 for his last 36 and 4 for 80. That's for starters. The horse had inside post at Flamborough. and that was another reason why I wasn't that interested. But that was a really good pick, and the 6 was, jumped about 6 times. Probably would have been a lot better had he not.
That horse came from Rosecroft.
Really 50-1 show.
That horse came from Rosecroft, am I right?
Yep, and that's probably why he was jumping.
I was going to ask you about that horse also. I said we need to ask Russ about this horse.
Well, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do.
All right, that just means we need to get the 5 home in this last leg of the Can-Am Pick 4.
Get it.
Get my single home.
Chalky.
What's this thing?
Hey, it could still pay well.
It still could. I mean, you're going to get something, and a lot more than your $9, so that's for sure. It's too bad, though. You really gave yourself a nice chance there with the 5.
Yeah.
Then you'd have been alive for 1,000.
Didn't Jason Ryan win the 3rd race last week?
He did.
With a 22-1 shot.
And I had him.
Yep. But for the moment we've all been waiting for, back to Rosecroft. Second leg of the Pick 3. I gave my numbers. Mike gave his numbers. Rod gave his numbers. The Hustler just went and grabbed a bottle of brandy, so his numbers must be ripe.
I'm sorry, that was pretty good. I will say that. Anyway, I actually agree with Rod with his top pick. I can't believe it. I completely agree. Owner-driver Kenny Weckstein looks for his 3rd win of the year with spin out. Takes dropping class and gets the rail. You got to use. I mean, the rail has actually not been too bad at Rosecroft thus far. So you got to use that one. The 7-horse Adios Muchachos, I really didn't want to use this one, but this field is... Yeah. But anyway, it made a break at the start last week. Now you get Johnny Boy. Drops in class as well. 2 for 29 the last 2 years. Makes me want to play him second. You can't play this horse to win. Unless you use him in the Pick 3 and get value, you can do that too. The 9-horse, I picked 9. Tom's Tarzan for 3rd. Draws post 9 for the 2nd week in a row. If Foster gets a decent trip from there, he can hit the board, in my opinion. And I use a 4th horse, but I don't have on my sheet. Is, let me get this up real quick. Is the number 6, Delco Liar. And you get Kim Vincent for a 2nd time. And I'm thinking the horse is going to be more forwardly placed. I'm hoping he doesn't stay on the rail. I'm hoping he's a little bit more aggressive. I know 2 for 41 is not exactly aggressive lately, but this is not a great field. I could never use the 2 horses Mike used, but this is a horse race. Anything could happen. And I'm going to take a sip of this.
Amen to that, brother.
How you like that?
You used the 9 or the 7 who looks like crap.
Well, I agree there. That I completely agree with.
So, I mean,
but you can never single Kenny Weckstein on anything.
No.
And you used that one too.
I know. I'm using the class droppers.
Well, you got to use the 1. It makes sense though. And my mouth is burning. I love it.
I can't. I'm hammering 4 or 5 in that race all day.
Go ahead.
Hammered. I will bet you that neither one of those horses finished in the top 2. No way.
What do you want to bet?
Man, I don't want to take your money, man. You keep it.
I'll bet you $1.
Oh, the State Farm commercial. I love it. You almost had it.
I'll bet you that shirt. You need to give me that shirt if I win.
Mike, they don't make that shirt in your size.
Oh, there you go.
I'm so obsessed with this Can-Am because I'm worried that the 1 is the favorite at 5-2.
You laughed at us for liking him.
Which one?
know, but now that I don't have the favorite, I don't feel safe, even though I have the best horse in the race at 7-2. But anyway,
I will say this: I am alive in my Can-Am ticket to the last leg.
I'm dead, but I can't use 3 to 5 shots.
Yeah, I don't.
Same.
Russ?
I am alive to Ronnie Burke. Well, can't blame me. I mean, he wins a million races.
Which one? He's got like 4 in the last race.
Yeah, World on Edge. Why not?
Ours has a chance, certainly, but the 5 should win. The 5 should.
Well, I want to apologize to Mike here because I didn't make the show last week because there was a little handicap at Torment. I got beat by Andrew because he got Jack Quick up in race 11. I did have a $260 lead, and I got passed in the second to last race. So
you couldn't be kidding me.
Not kidding.
Oh my God, are you kidding? Oh, that's awful.
I had a 45-1 shot.
And you lost.
Yes. He bet $39 on a 9-1 shot, and I lost. I went 5-5 on Spin Credible. And he's in the final race on Sunday, and you get the Jet instead of Jared Moyer. So I know they're going to bet him, but I'm probably not going to.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Yeah, but I still made some money overall. But I wanted the trip. But what can you do? Instead, I'm enjoying a great afternoon or evening with you guys. So.
To that, third leg of the Rosecroft Pick 3 as they're on the track at the Meadowlands. Let's get this done before I win this Can-Am.
This could be water for all you guys know.
Same.
Yeah.
$10,000. Mine is water, though. They don't make Acadia vodka. I don't think. $10,000 open handicap. We got 7 horses postward to end this Pick 3 sequence. Russ, my dear boy, of the 7, who's worth using?
Who is worth using? That's a really good question nowadays. That's a good question. I might have to call you after the show about that. I don't know. But anyway, we got the Dover shipper here, McHenry. Not that Michael McHenry who used to play for the Pirates years ago.
Really? I get them mixed up all the time.
Buckos. He was a catcher.
Yep. Yes, he was an okay catcher. I don't know what he's doing nowadays. I don't know. But anyway, representing here with Donald. Oh, what were you saying?
But he's probably bagging groceries.
Yeah, probably at the Wawa or the Get-Go out there. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Giant Eagle. I don't know. But anyway, I like McHenry on top. The reason why I like him is coming back to Rosecroft after nearly 2 years away from here. He's only raced 19 times in 2 years, so that makes me wonder if he's got some soundness issues or what's going on. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't talked to them, so I don't know. But anyway, his lifetime mark on 150 and 2 here is pretty fast at this track, and he raced good his last 2 starts at Dover. I mean, a couple thirds. I mean, going 51 flaps, not bad. That should be good enough to win this race. And then the horse for second is, I know people are like, why do you love this horse so much? Capital Builder. No J-Rod this week. I don't know where he's at. He might be in a shooting exhibition. I don't know. But he is a pretty good shot. I'm not going to lie. But you get no J-Rod, but you get Ricky Still, who's been driving pretty well the last 2 weeks, especially driving Highlier at the Meadowlands. He gets this one going. If he can get this horse 4-way placed, he can win if he goes off the rail. Like, he sits second on the inside of McHenry or something. Something like that could happen. But I'm not expecting it to happen, but will it happen? I don't know. But the horse for third, I'm going to use High Sir. Has had his Rosecroft over the years. He's been racing at Rosecroft 4 or 5 years. Russell's had the horse forever. Now, he's got it under the tutelage of his wife, Megan Foster. And, he won last week at a non-warrant of 6 pretty easily. There was a little wind last week. I was really surprised. Like there wasn't a variant. I was a little surprised about that. I know the times were a little slower. Like I don't know if you guys noticed that, but
with the 53 and 2 half, they were a little slower.
Yeah. Because the wind was really blowing. So I don't know, but anyway, the horse raced really well. I'm thinking maybe he could always win the race too. I've seen him win many races in the Open at Rosecroft over the years. So I'm going to use a contender for the Hustler. Next, down to whoever's next on the NAHU show.
Well, we got 50 seconds, Rod.
I am 4 deep here. I'm going to the outside 4 horses, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Capital Builder didn't put in a great effort last time. He raced okay, but I'm looking more at those lines 2 and 3 back. I really like those. That's going to be my key horse in the race. So 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mike.
4-7 for me. I think the 4 is a big chance, especially coming off that huge race. Draws better than most of these, and could get the jump. So 4-7.
I'm 4, 6, 7. That was incredible speed. High Sir just showed out of nowhere to wire that field. Now moves up into the Open. Seems capable if he can show some kind of speed similar to that. If not, Hickory Aloha is going to be the speed of the race, and almost took him wire to wire last time around. Just got headed at the wire. No Rock and Roll Jet this time around. 4.
Yeah, he raced.
Lose 2.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Jet raced at Dover last night. He got 7th.
So Hickory Aloha must be a winner. And then McHenry ships it over. Has just raced against better, is better. It will just need to show that he's better. 4, 6, 7 for me to cap off the Rosecroft Pick 3. My ticket's 5-9 with 1-4 with 4, 6, 7 for 50 cents. That's $6. Mike.
What was I? Sorry. I was 5-9 with 4-5 with 4-7, $8 for $1.
Ron.
2-5 with 1-7 with 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 16 for $1.
Russ.
I'm gonna go a single with a 9 with a 1-6-7-9 with a 4-5-7 for $6 whole dollars, and you say that extra $4 for McDonald's.
And with that, they're in behind the gate at the start, and they're off in the last leg of the Can-Am. Sugartown had his nose on the gate, and he's leaving for Marcus Miller, as is Mark with a K towards the center. But Mark with a K, quickest to the cones around the first turn. JK Captain Jack looming up into contention wide of World on Edge, getting away 3rd. So Sugartown's wide 4th. Roll with Papa Joe's away 5th, ahead of 1 Corona to go 6th. Warrawee Unique back 7th with Bring the Thunder 8th. 9th away, Ode to Gray, and Costello rounds out the 10 to the opening quarter in 29-2. Mark with a K yields to Sugartown, as now World on Edge from 4th. Out and moving for Gingras to be 3rd, to be 2nd, and now brushing to the lead, heading to 3/8. JK Captain Jack shuffled to 4th, while Roll with Papa Joe sits 5th. 1 Corona to go, tips outside from 6th, jonesing for cover, ahead of Warrawee Unique 7th. Bring the Thunder is 8th and 3rd over. To the inside, Ode to Gray rides the cones, and Costello still trails. 58 seconds to halftime, 28-3 that second quarter. World on Edge to the far turn, a length and 3/4 better than Sugartown. Plugs are popped now on that one, with Mark with a K to the inside 3rd of Roll with Papa Joe, now rolling up towards the leader. 1 Corona to goes on that cover. 3rd up comes Warrawee Unique, shuffled back to the inside, JK Captain Jack. Ode to Gray also shuffled towards the rear of the field with Bring the Thunder. World on Edge, the one to catch. Past 3/4 in 1:26-4. Roll with Papa Joe rolls up to be 2nd. Off cover comes 1 Corona to go. Then to the inside, Sugartown has room to pace, but World on Edge has gotten soft fractions, and he leads the sprint home. Sugartown to the inside, overtaken by Mark with the K, diving to the cones. Roll with Papa Joe is trying to get past 2. The battle's on for 2nd, though. World on Edge had them put away, and World on Edge goes to a 2-length win. Mark with a K 2nd from Sugartown, then JK Captain Jack 4th in 1:54-1.
Bree never looked like a loser the whole race.
Especially getting the 58 seconds. Now I feel what you said, Rod, earlier.
Tons the best. Tons.
That was my single, boys. $12 ticket.
I was tons the best off of having 58 in that race. Could have put me, just hook that bike up to me.
Looking at him.
Just hook the bike up to me.
Wait, did the Fawn finish yet?
My $9.50 ticket gets killed in the end. I guess it's great then that 47-1 shot did not win.
Bad night for me.
The 47-1 shot won, Rod, and you made that noise. This would have been my last show, and there'd be brains splattering in the back room. That does it for us here on North American Harness Update. I'm fine. I'd be fine. I got my water. I have a can of Pringles upstairs. I'm going to have a great night because the Grand Nationals tomorrow, and we can start this cycle. I've been Ray Catolo. He's Mike Bribosi, Rod Adams Jr., and he's the Hanover Hustler, shooting arms and firing words.
Bang, bang.